Hello, and welcome to this special WrestleMania WrestleTalk news. It's so WrestleMania, I'm probably not going to even mention it once because AEW do everything now. WrestleMania to AEW confirmed. I'm Ollie Davis, of course. Please give WrestleTalk a subscribe. It's the biggest wrestling weekend of the year. It's Christmas in April, and we're going to have too much content for you. We've got live reactions over on the podcast channel, reviews on the podcast channel, reviews here with me on the WrestleTalk main channel. So subscribe to WrestleTalk and WrestleTalk podcast. But for now, so much news has happened. I've had to do this extra one because it wasn't just SmackDown, Hall of Fame, a GCW show last night. It was also the first Ring of Honor pay-per-view under AEW's, well, not AEW's, Tony Khan's ownership. And what that seems to mean is it's pretty much the AEW roster now. We saw a lot of title changes, getting the belts off of previous ROH guys, Josh Woods, Rhett Titus, the Briscoes. Those belts have now come on to AEW or sort of Forbidden Door adjacent talent. Minoru Suzuki is now your TV champion. Wheeler Yuta is the pure champion. The Briscoes are no longer the tag champions. I said the wrong one first. The Young Bucks. No, god damn it, FTR. There's too many wrestlers, right? FTR are your new ROH tag champs. I'll have more on that in the news episode going up later. But what I want to speak about is the guy who turned up after the main event, after Jonathan Gresham unified the interim and previous ROH world titles. Bandito, of course, held the previous one. It's definitely the biggest, most stupendous title unification match I can think of happening this weekend. After that match, Jay Lethal had turned heel. He beat up Gresham. Samoa Joe comes out for the save. Samoa Joe has made his return to Ring of Honor. Now, in this, right after he came out, well, sort of after, as the show was going off air, Ian Riccaboni, the announcer, said, it's not just on ROH, by the way. He'll be on Dynamite on Wednesday, which Tony Khan later confirmed over Twitter, saying, yeah, Samoa Joe is all elite. Samoa Joe is now an ROH and AEW talent. Let's talk about the ROH side of things first. I have done some research. By research, I mean going through the Ring of Honor titles Wikipedia page. Why can't I use that in Quizzlemania, hey? I'd know everything if I could use Wikipedia. Samoa Joe was inducted into the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame earlier this year, of course. He holds the longest reign of the World Championship, 645 days, which took place almost 2 decades ago, almost 20 years ago. That reign was from March 2003 to December 2004. Christ. When I think of Joe and Punk and Danielson in Ring of Honor, my mind just assumes it was the late noughties, but of course it wasn't. That was when they were in TNA and WWE and whatnot. But yeah, everyone's older than you think they are. Jay Lethal, the man he confronted, Jay Lethal, the man Samoa Joe trained, Lethal held the title for 427 days and a second reign for 280 days. Quick maths, that's 707 days combined. So while Lethal is the longest running overall, Joe is the longest running single reign. So you've got this beautiful feud there in the making. Lethal versus Joe, trainer versus trainee, mentor versus student. And you've got this epic stat of who is the ultimate world champion talent. And sort of Gresham can just, I guess, sit on the side. Poor guy. Let's see where Tony Khan wants to take the story. Joe was released from NXT twice, but most recently on the 6th of January this year. Usually you have a 30-day non-compete clause with NXT contracts. WWE is 90 days, the main roster ones. So Joe has been a free agent since the 5th of February. So you'd expect these talks to have been probably going on at the same time that Khan was buying Ring of Honor in the negotiations there, which we understand stretch back to probably last October, November, but ramped up in recent months, definitely over February, as that's when it was announced, early March. So Joe was probably a factor of this. This is why Joe was popped into the ROH Hall of Fame. So what is Joe doing in AEW and Ring of Honor? Let's find out, because Joe himself will tell you. Are you ready for some production? Is this going to work? Because an error message just came up. Yeah, it is. I'm sharing my screen. WrestleTalk.com, folks. So Samoa Joe, in the sort of AEW style, has done a post pay-per-view media call where they fielded questions, and Joe outlined the real reason he's here in both promotions. Quite simply, this is a quote now: "World champion. That's why I'm here. I tried my bid at bettering the world of professional wrestling, but at the end of the day, I'm here in AEW and ROH to be a unified champion. I'm here to win the AEW championship and Ring of Honor championship. I'm here to win anything they put in front of me. I'm more than willing to go into the Owen Hart tournament and win that. This ain't a game anymore. AEW has a lot of feel-good moments, a lot of great wrestlers who respect each other. I don't respect nobody. Until you're in the ring with me, I'm coming out there to smack people in the mouth and take what they have." That's pretty much my edict. I'm a good guy, but not here, not here. So he is kind of referencing WWE and NXT without saying as much. He said he tried to better the world of professional wrestling. That to me sounds like his run in WWE and NXT, especially down at the bottom of that quote when he talks about being a broadcaster. He was a commentator, of course, on Raw, ridiculously, but he wasn't medically cleared. I guess you can kind of forgive WWE for that waste of talent. But the idea that he is here, similar to Bryan Danielson, when Punk came into AEW, he was very much, I respect everyone. I want to help get people over. I love wrestling again. Bryan Danielson came in a week or two later. He's like, no, I'm here to kick people's heads in. Joe is of a very similar slant here. He's like, no, I'm here to kick ass in AEW. The professional sports entertainer guy is gone. This is me back to Ring of Honor days from 7-8 years ago, or TNA days, I guess. TNA never gets any love, do they, in these sorts of interviews? A unified AEW and ROH champion. Hot damn. Well, I don't think, I can't see that happening, but there's a load of dream matches, right? You've got Punk, Danielson, Lethal, all these old school guys, but then Moxley, Kenny Omega, you get the Hangman Page. So many dream matches. Let me know who you want to kind of see Samoa Joe feud with first. Keith Lee. I just remembered Keith Lee. So after that, Joe did talk about his NXT release, kind of alluding to the change of tone, NXT 2.0, but not saying explicitly. Quote, "My going back to WWE was majorly because of the people I worked with and relationships I built in the company, mainly two people in Triple H and William Regal. As Triple H, dealing with his situation, which I obviously knew about and was way more concerned about than my employment, Regal and his departure, I knew the writing was on the wall for me." Which is fine. We were a big collective and a big collective think tank within the company, and we went a different way. As far as the release, it's an up and down process for a lot of people. For me, it's freed me up to pursue a lot of projects that I wanted to work on. It's freed me up to start talking with Tony and the future with what he wanted to do next. And I was very surprised that it matched up. So yeah, as soon as Joe was let go from WWE, which was after William Regal, who is, of course, now in NXT. I think it's really, as if it's not evident enough already, Regal is such a huge part in not just like the mid-noughties guys, but everyone through the teens who came up through NXT as well. He's like such a developer of talent and incredible, and obviously inspires such loyalty. Triple H, similarly. We've got Regal in AEW, Samoa Joe's in AEW. Say it with me, gang. Triple H to AEW confirmed. Soon, surely. The writing was on the wall. It's just that change of direction from NXT to NXT 2.0. Interestingly, he then went on to say how much of a surprise Tony and Ring of Honor approaching him was. Quote, "It was a major surprise to me, especially coming from my former position and how hard I was pushing to buy the library for the other company. It let me know why it was being such a difficult process." That says to me that over the last year, Joe, NXT, Regal, Triple H were pushing to buy that Ring of Honor library. Sports Illustrated and Justin Barrasso reported, was it last October, after the sort of news of the ROH hiatus came out, that yes, Sinclair, ROH's parent company, was looking to offload at least the tape library, potentially the entire promotion, and that talks were being had. We assumed that there's not many players in the space. WWE was one of them, but I think this is kind of the most explicit indication that it was going on from someone within WWE. So yeah, that's very interesting, and it's another pawn away from WWE NXT to AEW Ring of Honor. The sort of axis, the battle lines are being drawn. Speaking about Tony Khan specifically, who was sitting alongside him on the media call, so can't say too many bad things. Joe said, having Tony have it and know how much he loves wrestling and knowing how much he loved ROH and the product, just from our meetings and the time knowing each other, I knew it would be in good hands. That's Ring of Honor. I knew it would be treated with respect and it would be kind of made available to the fans in the best way possible. I was very happy about it. But how happy was Tony Khan? Very happy. This is an image after the show from the Reddit user Reclaim Joey. So Joe came out, he made the save, and then he walked off. I imagine this happened it can't have been when he came out. Because you can't see Tony Khan when Joe comes out. Maybe this was afterwards, or this is just a weird angle. Tony Khan. There's two pictures that Reclaim Joey has taken. That is the look of joy in his face. Let me get it closer. Can I zoom in even more? How big can I make Tony's face? It makes you very happy that someone who obviously has this much passion is running the second largest promotion in the world. Look at that face. I can't believe he's in charge of a multi-million-dollar company, but I'm glad for it. Yeah, he's got a microphone there. Sure, so surely that came after the pay-per-view went off air. Can I make it any bigger, or did it just become a distorted mess? Look, he kind of looks like Bob Ross. Well, that is an image of true fandom and joy. It's easy to be cynical about the amount of stuff that Tony is currently acquiring, but hot damn, when you see how much it means to him, how angry can you be at the rich kid? Thank you very much for watching this extra bonus episode. Please subscribe and everything, because we'll have another episode up very shortly where I'm reviewing SmackDown. We've got a review of Rampage and talking about some very interesting Roman Reigns ultimatum interviews back from when he was out of WWE at the start of the pandemic and what it took for him to be brought back. But yes, please subscribe. It's a busy weekend. We're all hands on deck here. Adam Blompier is challenging for the championships, I think at both nights of WrestleJamia for us. So go over to the WrestleTalk podcast channel as well and subscribe there. But for now, I've been Ollie Davis. Jam that jam.